Hey there friends, welcome to Holly's Humble Home. My name is Holly. I'm really glad that you decided to stop by. We're going to be doing some primitive crafts today. I am so excited about this video. I recently shared a short video using a plastic bag that had a lot of primitive decor type of embellishments on it, and I decided to use that and utilize that in today's crafts. Just to give you a little bit of insight, a few weeks ago I was cleaning out one of my storage closets, and in this particular closet I store my fall candles. And so I opened up this closet to start going through it, and just organizing. And as soon as I opened the door, I got hit with this wonderful scent of apples and cinnamon and pumpkin, because those were the candles that I had been storing in there. And I just said, oh my gosh, they smell so wonderful. And I know that we're moving into summer, and fall is a few months away, and I'm not trying to rush anyone's life away, but it just really got me, because I am a fall girl at heart. That is my favorite season. And again, I know that summer is coming, and I do love summer. I love going swimming. I love, barbecuing and all that fun stuff, but I have to be careful because I have a heat sensitivity. So summer does kind of pose a little bit of a challenge for me, but again, I'm not trying to rush us into fall. I'm just really excited about doing today's primitive crafts, and it feels like with primitive decor, it feels like in a way it's always fall, because it's this simple rustic decor with warm colors, lots of black, and it just feels so comforting. And I guess for me, being an empty nester and both of my parents are recently deceased, I just kind of felt like I needed a more comforting environment. And I have found that by bringing primitive into my home, and by bringing in those wonderful scents of apples and cinnamon, even a little pumpkin. I do have a pumpkin candle out still. But it's just such a comforting style, and I'm just really thankful that I have rediscovered it. So I'm really excited about today's video and about the crafts that we're going to be doing. So I hope that you guys are too. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you stay with me, and I hope to see you guys in the comments.
All right, friends, so to get started, I'm going to get this black chalk paint here. And this was just a jar that had some, I think it was olives in it. And so I thought that it would be the perfect size jar for this craft. So I just kept it and cleaned it. And I'm just going to start by painting the lid black here. And I only used one coat of the black paint on the lid. It only took one coat. That's why I love chalk paint. Sometimes you do have to use a couple of coats, but most of the time you can get away with one. And then with the jar, I'm just going to take some brown chalk paint and I'm just going to start painting it. But it was still a little wet inside, so I wanted to dry it out first. But that's the brown chalk paint. And I get them from Hobby Lobby, and I think they're only $1.79 for the smaller containers there. And I think the big container of the black, I think it was $8.99. You know what? That may not be right. It's between $5.99 and $8.99. I get some of my prices mixed up because I do shop at Hobby Lobby and Walmart and Michael's, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of all of them. But I just painted the whole jar there with the brown chalk paint. And I didn't really do it in like a nice, neat kind of way because we're going to be grubbying this up. But first, that is the bag that my Mother's Day gift from my daughter Sarah had come in. And when I saw the bag, I got so excited because of all of the pictures on it. You know, have you ever given a gift to a toddler and they wanted to play with the box more than the actual gift? That's what it kind of reminded me of because I was so excited about the bag. I decided to go with the black star there just to keep it simple. So I'm just going to cut that out. And I did it really neatly because I plan on using all of these. I'm so excited about this bag. So I'm just going to decoupage that right onto the glass. I just wanted to show it to you again because it is just so cute. I love this bag. There's so many really cute pictures on it. So I'm just going to start decoupaging it, and even though it is a plastic bag, it decoupages very nicely. I've done this in the past over Christmas. I used another plastic bag from Dollar Tree. Just showing you, I'm just using the Mod Podge in the mat there. But the plastic, if you ever find like a bag, like a plastic bag, just like the one we're using, they do decoupage very nicely. If you are ever wondering if you can decoupage with a plastic bag, you absolutely can. So I'm just sealing it on there, just like you see. I had been using a paper towel, but it kind of stuck to the bottom, so I don't recommend using a paper towel with your painting or your Mod Podge. So I got that cinnamon there from Dollar Tree. And so what I did was I just put Mod Podge on the glass jar, just like you saw a moment ago. And then I'm just sprinkling the cinnamon on top of it. And you can do this technique multiple times. It just depends on how grubby you want to make it. So I only put on the one layer, but you can put on 2 or 3, just depending again on your personal preference and how grubby you want to make this jar. I do love the grubby jars here with Primitive Decor. My daughter had given me one for a Mother's Day gift, and I decided to make another one to go with it. So I was trying to see if I could take some off of the cardboard and put it on there. It didn't work too well, but at the end I did try to save as much of the cinnamon as I possibly could just for future crafts, but it's okay. You can get it from Dollar Tree, and it actually does go a very long way, and it gives you that wonderful cinnamon smell. My whole kitchen was just smelling so wonderful, and no wonder so many people love Primitive Decor. The scents and the smells are just wonderful. So I'm just going and I'm just adding some more Mod Podge onto the jar, and then I'm just going to cover the whole thing with cinnamon using the technique that you see me doing there. You just do the same thing until you cover the entire jar, or you could even do it in places here and there. It's really up to you, again, just depending upon the look that you're going for. And guys, I wanted to tell you, if this is too messy or too involved, there are some textured spray paints out there that could give you a similar look. So I wanted to make sure that I told you guys that. They're like the Flex Stone. That's how it looks, just showing you really quick. But if this is, again, too involved, there are spray paints out there that are textured that could give you a similar look, but you won't have that wonderful cinnamon smell. So I'm just covering the whole thing here with some Mod Podge. And I have something funny to tell you guys at the end of the video regarding the Mod Podge. You'll just have to stay tuned. I don't want to give it away. But yeah, I had a little bit of an error with my Mod Podge, but I think it turned out great. So we'll just have to stay tuned till the end, and you let me know in the comments what you think. But I am just having such a great time bringing primitive into my home, and again, it is just such a warm, comforting style, and I just don't think that it will ever really ever go out of style. I just can't imagine it. But you know, it's really all about what you like, so it really doesn't matter either way. Now, that is just a little type of container I found at Goodwill. I only paid $1 for it, and I think it had a top to it. I really don't know, but it was only $1, and so I just decided to paint it with, again, some black chalk paint. And then I'm just going to turn it into a simple little candle holder. And this is just a really simple craft here, guys. But, you know, if you have something in your home, say like sconces or a picture frame or a candle holder of some kind, and you want to bring some primitive into your home, painting those things with some black chalk paint is really an easy way to bring in some primitive, just like what you see me doing there. That had been originally like this greenish gray, and I didn't really like it. And I decided to just paint it with some black chalk paint, and it just gave it a whole new look. Now, it is spring moving into summer, so I didn't want to break out the red and orange berries just yet. I will do that come probably late August. So I did style this just using some lavender and some dried baby's breath. But when the time comes to break out the orange and red berries, by painting this black, it's just going to really make those berries stand out so much. So I am just, you know, planning for the future when we do get to fall. But in the meantime, we do have lots of barbecues and some swimming to do. So I try to find something nice to enjoy about every season. And I've obviously, you know, winter is Christmas and the winter holidays. Fall is just fall. There's something just so wonderful about fall. But you know, with spring, it's the flowers and, you know, all the baby birds. And we have a nest on our back deck, and there is a lot of baby birds. And we sit out there at night, and when we drink our wine or sometimes a cup of coffee, and we just listen to the baby birds chirping. So I love that about spring. And then, you know, moving into summer, that's when all of our flowers are in bloom. So there's always something to look forward to. But so for the last craft, guys, while everything's drying, I found this block of wood in the garage. My husband had a project that he finished, and there was just this block of wood left over. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you guys really quick. I accidentally used the sparkle Mod Podge. I thought I grabbed the matte, but I didn't. I grabbed the sparkle, but you know what? I really like it, and I think it turned out really pretty. And I'm not going to use sparkle for everything, but I thought that turned out really pretty, guys. So I know that was a little bit of an abrupt interruption there, but I painted the whole wooden block black. And while it's drying, I'm just showing you how I decorated the glass jar from the beginning. But I grabbed the wrong Mod Podge from the closet, and see, that is why I need to remember to use my glasses at all times, because little simple mistakes like that happen. But I think it turned out really great, and I think it just adds a little bit of eclecticness to this little jar here. It just makes it a little eclectic, and but I really like it. And you know, there are some sparkles in primitive. I've seen it. So maybe my subconscious did it on purpose. I don't know. So I'm just going to take that little key there and I'm just going to attach it just to give it a little charm. And that is the key to my childhood home. That is the key to the back door of my childhood home. But the family that bought the home, they have replaced all the doors, so it's okay that I kept that. But I love collecting old skeleton keys because they just remind me so much of the home I grew up in with my mom and dad. So I took a dried piece of baby's breath. Whenever I go to the store, guys, and I get, like a bouquet, or if my husband brings me flowers, I always keep the baby's breath and I hang it up and I dry it because I love using baby's breath in primitive decor. I think it's just so pretty and it just adds a nice touch of softness. So I wanted to show that to you guys. And the ribbon that I put on there, that is just some homespun fabric. There is a primitive store where I live that sells it. And that is how that turned out, guys. And I am really happy with it. Sparkles and all, I am just really happy with it. So I really hope that you guys like that. So I'm gonna take another picture from that bag, and I decided to go with just showing you that there is a backside, so I have double the pictures, but I'm gonna go with the live well, love much, laugh often. I love that. And all I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm just going to decoupage it onto this block here. Now, I did realize that that was sparkly Mod Podge. I didn't know they sold sparkle Mod Podge. I just grabbed the wrong one, I guess, when I was shopping. So yes, they sell Mod Podge that already has sparkles in it. So we learn something every day. So what I did was I just put some on the back, and then I just put the picture onto the block there. So I didn't want everything to be sparkly. Maybe come Halloween, and Christmas, we'll use some more of the sparkle Mod Podge, but I did want to use it to glue the picture to the block. So it worked out great. And so just so we don't make the Mod Podge feel bad, I decided to put a little bit of sparkle on the heart there. So, there's a little bit of sparkle is okay. Nothing wrong with that. We should always have a little bit of magic in our home. So I just decided to do that there. And then I'm going to take some more of that homespun fabric right there, and I'm just going to tie it around. I got the brown and the cream and the black. I got a one. I also got another piece from the primitive store that I go to, where it is cream and red. And I do want to bring some red into my living room, but right now I have a lot of greens and brown and cream, so I just kind of decided to stick with that for now. But I am going to add some color here, some more color I should say here soon. But I just took a piece and I just tied it on there, and I am keeping all of the little ribbon scraps because they're fun to make some nice raggedy bows with. If you're doing primitive decor, always keep your scrap ribbon because you can always make some fun raggedy bows, and I love doing that too. So just taking the ends there and roughing them up. I didn't want to have clean cut lines with primitive, so just roughing up the ends there like you see. And I just love how this turned out, guys. I really do. I love to upcycle. That is just a huge hobby of mine, and it just seemed like primitive was really the way to go. That just seems like what makes sense when you really like to upcycle. So there we go. And now we took that wooden block and we just turned it into this precious little primitive decor piece. And there is our sparkly our sparkly glass jar. I think that is so funny. I grabbed the wrong Mod Podge, but I think it turned out great. And I do love the sparkles, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see it, it makes me smile. So, you know, was it really a mistake if it makes you smile? I don't think so. So I think it turned out great, and I just tied some more of the ribbon around the little candle jar we created. And I just put, again, a little candle in there, and I just tucked in some faux lavender with some dried baby's breath, and then that is just the little wooden block that we upcycled and turned into a nice piece of primitive decor. This was so fun, guys. I am just so happy that I have rediscovered primitive, and I am so thankful and just excited to do more crafts. So if you guys like this video, I would love for you to come back. I'd love for you to listen to me ramble some more. And I just want to tell you that I am so thankful for all of my subscribers and all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you. And for my returning subscribers, you guys are awesome. I'm so happy when I see your comments. You guys all just make my heart smile. You really do. And before I start to cry, I am going to say goodbye, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Take care.